of the World Urban Forum, WUF13, in Baku. My name is Nadira Tuda from Euronews, and it is my pleasure to host today's opening press conference. For next week, global leaders, policymakers, urban experts and stakeholders will gather to discuss one of the most defining challenges of our time. How do we house the world safely, inclusively and sustainably? This year's theme is Housing the World, Safe and Resilient Communities. This year's forum comes at a critical time, where cities are under more pressure than ever before to modernise and accommodate a growing urban population. We are honoured to be joined today by distinguished guests representing both the international community and the host country, Azerbaijan. I would like to now introduce our speakers this morning. Ms. Anna Claudia Rosbach, Executive Director of UN Habitat. Mr. Anar Guliev, Chairman of the State Committee on Urban Planning and Architecture of the Republic of Azerbaijan and WUF13 National Coordinator. Mr. Ngarkor Ming, President of the United Nations Habitat Assembly and Minister of Housing and Local Development in Malaysia. We will begin with opening remarks from the Executive Director of UN Habitat. Madam Executive Director, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Nadira. Good morning, Excellencies, members of the press. Good sunny morning to all of you. We are opening the World Urban Forum at a defining moment for cities and communities worldwide. The scale and the urgency of today's urban challenges demand faster, more coordinated and more inclusive action. We gather here in Baku, hosted by the government of Azerbaijan, at a time when the world's urban future is being reshaped by crisis and opportunity alike. We are grateful for Azerbaijan's leadership in convening this global platform and for its commitment to advancing dialogue and cooperation on sustainable urban development. Nearly 3 billion people are living in conditions of housing inadequacy. More than 1 billion live in informal settlements and slums. And over 300 million face homelessness. This is not a set of isolated challenges. It is a systemic global crisis. These challenges are no longer sectoral or incremental. They reflect structural failures in how cities are financed, planned, and governed. But this is not only a housing crisis. It is a crisis of inclusion, of opportunity, resilience, and dignity. Housing is the entry point, but the solution lies in how we plan, govern, and invest in our cities. Ladies and gentlemen, housing is a human right and a foundation for achieving the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, particularly Sustainable Development Goal 11, to make cities inclusive, safe, resilient, and sustainable. The central message for this forum is clear. Housing must be placed at the heart of integrated urban solutions, linking land, basic services, climate action, mobility, and economic opportunity. Since its establishment by the United Nations General Assembly, the World Urban Forum has become the leading global platform for dialogue and action on sustainable urbanization. WUF13 is a moment to reset how the world acts on urbanization. Convened here in Baku, this forum reflects Azerbaijan's role in fostering global dialogue on sustainable urban development and advancing cooperation across regions. This World Urban Forum, WUF13, is the largest forum that has been ever convened by UN Habitat. We have over 41,000 participants from 182 countries, including heads of state, ministers, mayors, UN officials, and leaders from across government, business, academia, and civil society. UN Habitat works with governments and partners, supporting stronger policies, more effective institutions, and scalable solutions that deliver impact on the ground. However, despite growing global consensus, the gap between policy ambition and implementation remains wide. In this context, the World Urban Forum is a platform for action, bringing together a global coalition committed to advancing transformative urban change. WUF13 provides a structured space to move from dialogue to delivery through high-level sessions, including 6 high-level dialogues, over 370 partner-led events, and a Global Urban Expo featuring over 130 exhibitions. This edition introduces new initiatives to accelerate learning and scale solutions. The Practices Hub, the WUF Academy, and the Business and Innovation Hub, with its startup pavilion, bringing together tested innovations, skills development, and market-ready solutions across the housing and urban value chain. WUF13 also strengthens political engagement, including a ministerial dialogue that will help shape the next phase of the new urban agenda. This combination of policy dialogue, innovation, capacity building, and political engagement makes WUF13 a global platform for delivery. Cities are already leading. Across the world, we see practical solutions, from upgrading informal settlements to expanding services and strengthening climate resilience. The challenge is not the absence of solutions, it is the speed and the scale of their implementation. Much of the innovation is already happening at the local level, often under difficult conditions and with limited resources. Empowering cities and communities is essential to achieving global goals. Partnerships remain central. No single actor can respond to the scale and complexity of today's urban challenges alone. WUF13 is a moment to move from dialogue to delivery, from commitments into concrete action. The forum will conclude with the Baku call to action, reflecting a shared vision and a collective commitment to accelerate progress towards inclusive, resilient, and sustainable cities. The urgency is clear, the knowledge exists, the solutions are within reach. What is needed now is collective determination, so that the promise of inclusive, resilient, and sustainable cities becomes a reality for all. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Madam Executive Director, for those important opening remarks and for setting the tone for the upcoming days ahead here at WUF13. I would now like to invite Mr. Anar Guliev, who is the Chairman of the State Committee on Urban Planning and Architecture of the Republic of Azerbaijan and WUF13 National Coordinator, to deliver his statement. Mr. Guliev, over to you.
Thank you very much. Distinguished representatives of media, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Today marks an important moment, not only for Azerbaijan, but for the global urban community. Over the coming days, Baku becomes the meeting point for governments, mayors, international organizations, financial institutions, academia, civil society, youth, women, the private sector, local communities, all united by one common purpose: shaping better urban future for all. Our road to WUF13 began long before today. Since 2021, Azerbaijan has been actively organizing national urban forums, creating an important national platform for dialogue on sustainable urban development. These forums brought together various stakeholders, society, of societies to discuss the future of our cities and settlements. These forums helped us strengthen national coordination, identify priorities, exchange experiences to align our policies with the principles of the new urban agenda and sustainable development goals. More importantly, they created a culture of inclusive urban dialogue, where different voices and different sectors contribute to shaping better cities. In many ways, these national urban forums became the foundation of our journey toward hosting WUF13. They demonstrate Azerbaijan's commitment not only to urban development but also to multilateral cooperation, stakeholder engagement, and practical implementation. Today, WUF13 in Baku is a natural continuation of that journey, a global extension of the national conversations we have been building over the past years. Hosting the World Urban Forum is both a great responsibility and a strong expression of trust from the international community and from UN Habitat. We deeply value this partnership and close cooperation that has made WUF13 possible. Our collaboration has been built on shared values: sustainability, inclusion, resilience, and the belief that cities must serve people first. For Azerbaijan, hosting WUF13 is not simply an international event. It is a reflection of our national priorities and our vision for the future. Across our country, we are advancing major urban transformation efforts, modernizing cities, expanding green infrastructure, improving public services, investing in affordable housing, strengthening climate resilience, and building smarter and more inclusive communities. At the same time, in our liberated territories, we are implementing one of the largest reconstruction and redevelopment efforts of our time. Cities and villages that were once destroyed are being rebuilt based on the principles of sustainability, smart urban planning, green growth, and human dignity. This is not only reconstruction, it is the creation of a new model of urban development. WUF13 gives us the opportunity to share these experiences and, equally importantly, to learn from others. This forum is truly global in scale. By 17 May, total registration reached 42,367 persons from 182 countries. On the first day of the forum, yesterday on 17th of May, number of attendances made 21,108. The forum is also enriched by a dynamic urban expo, bringing together national governments, city administrations, international organizations, academia, innovators, and private sector leaders to showcase practical solutions and partnerships. The statistic of the Urban Expo reflects the big interest in the forum. Total area of the expo is covering about 35,000 square meters, and about half of it is exhibited space. In total, 260 participating organizations from 85 countries represented in 122 stands and pavilions. If we will look at the organizations by partner type, 15 of them are academia and research. Biggest number civil society representatives, 136. 44 private sector, including 14 startups. National governments, 41 pavilions. 10 public sector companies and 6 local and regional government representatives. The Azerbaijani pavilion at the Urban Expo, designed in the space of 1,500 square meters, will demonstrate our heritage, urban development pathway, tourism attraction, and large-scale reconstruction projects implemented in the liberated territories in Karabakh and East Zangezur. The pavilion is designed on the concept from vision to action with people, introducing the urban transformation journey of Azerbaijan. WUF13 were also proud to introduce new initiatives that reflect both Azerbaijan's contribution and evolving spirit of the forum. A key distinguishing feature of WUF13 will be its strong, high-level political engagement. For the first time in the history of the World Urban Forum, WUF13 will convene a leaders segment, bringing together heads of state and government to deliberate on the future of our cities. Azerbaijan will launch, together with UN Habitat, Baku Urban Award, a new international initiative that will become an important platform for recognizing outstanding achievements in sustainable urban development, and particularly in housing. WUF13 will leave important legacies beyond the forum itself. Alongside many initiatives and policy outcomes, operational excellence is also a key dimension of efficiently organizing a Global Urban Forum. Based on the BAKU standards developed by the WUF13 Azerbaijan operational company, we intend to collaborate with UN Habitat to jointly prepare an informative operational guide for next hosts of World Urban Forums. One of the most important legacy outcomes of WUF13 for us is the achievement of adopting the ISO 20121 standard at the national level. This result reflects our commitment to ensuring the major international events are organized not only successfully, but also responsibly and sustainably. The private sector representation is enlarged with the establishment of the Business and Innovation Hub, which also creates platform for the startups and raise their visibility. Dear media representatives, WUF13 is not only a conference, it is a platform for action. Our goal is clear: to ensure that this forum delivers practical outcomes and leaves a meaningful legacy both for Azerbaijan and for the international urban agenda. Your role in presenting information about WUF13 is essential. By highlighting the forum, you ensure that its objectives, achievements, and discussions are widely communicated to the global community. By this, journalists not only inform the world about WUF13, but also call for concrete actions, foster partnerships, and promote policy innovation at a global scale. We hope every participant leaves Baku not only inspired, but equipped with stronger partnerships, clearer priorities, and renewed determination. Thank you once again, and welcome to Baku.
Thank you very much, Mr. Guliev. I would now like to invite our representative of the governing bodies of UN Habitat, President of the United Nations Habitat Assembly, and Minister of Housing and Local Development of Malaysia, Ngako Ming, to deliver their remarks. Mr. Ming, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Excellencies, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. Sabahinis Hayes. It is a pleasure to join you at this official press conference of the 13th sessions of the World Urban Forum. This forum, it brings together the global coalitions, governments, local authorities, international organizations, experts, and partners at a defining moment. As I look at the representatives gathered here in Baku, I'm reminded that while we walk, we talk of urbanization in numbers, we must lead with the heart, with humanity as our core agenda. A city is not merely a collection of buildings. It is a collection of human stories. Urbanization continues to transform societies at an unprecedented pace. While cities generate economic opportunities, innovation, and cultural exchange, they are also increasingly exposed to housing pressures, climate risks, social inequalities, and growing demands for infrastructure and public services. For many people, especially vulnerable communities, access to adequate housing remain one of the most urgent concerns. This is why the theme of this year's forum, Housing the World, Safe and Resilient Cities and Communities, is particularly timely. It is a reminder that humanity is our superpower. While technology may scale transform information, it cannot scale the trust of the wisdom required to build a community. Throughout this week, our discussion will focus on practical approaches to make cities inclusive and resilient. We expect significant exchanges of housing policies as well as financing, but we must ensure these blueprints lead to legacies. The future does not belong to those who predict it. It belongs to those who built it. Yesterday's ministerial meeting on the new urban agenda demonstrated strong political will ahead of the high-level midterm review in New York this coming July. As President of the UN Habitat Assembly, I sincerely believe this process offers an important opportunity to strengthen international cooperation and maintain political momentum around sustainable urbanization. It is critical to move from motherhood statements to measurable impact on the ground. I also believe that platforms such as the World Urban Forum remain essential because it allows government and stakeholders to learn from one another and identify practical solutions that can be adapted to different national and also local contexts. Malaysia remains committed to working with member states and partners to advance sustainable urban development and improve the quality of life in cities and communities. Once again, I'm inspired by the Azerbaijani proverb that resonate deeply with our work. Dama dama goh olah, aha aha se olah. It means that drop by drop, a lake is formed, and by flowing, a river is made. World Urban Forum is the time we turn dialogue to delivery, from vision to reality. Together, we shall make our dreams come true. Thank you. Chok Saho.
Thank you very much, Honourable Minister, and thank you to speakers. Well, we can now do the question and action. We can take one question for each of the speakers, and I'd kindly ask you to introduce yourself and your media organisation.